So you got yours?
Yeah, because I think yours is fine enough to hear on it as long as you can hear.
Yeah. After all, put on sound. All right.
Oh, I know. Oh, hold on.
Did you mute? Put on sound your picture and let them know you're there.
I did. This is like in telephone mode. It's not the full screen. Oh, wait, maybe I could do this and make it bigger.
Great.
There we are. Okay. Sorta. Hello?
Hi, Greg.
No. Here. Okay, I'll go mute too. I'll go on mute too. Everybody sit mute.
There we go. And I'm starting the video. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Now I think I'm unmuted and you're seeing me on my phone. I see Greg. And if I go back to, good Lord. Now I see Dane. Dane is muted. And Catherine's muted. And then Dane is, okay. Voice check, Dane.
Yep, I'm here.
All right. We have liftoff. All right. We have a quorum. I think we're the only ones that are going to be able to make this meeting. Got Catherine here and our COA representative, Evan Hall, is here for our one COA that we have on the agenda. So
You didn't get any from the
I did, and we'll go over that in the chairman's report or new business. All right.
Okay. Mhm.
So I'm going to do the official administrative stuff here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the August regular meeting of the Historic District Commission. I'm Tim Dowen. I'm the chairman. Note that this meeting is being recorded. If you're not speaking, please have yourself on mute to prevent any background noise. Our meeting tonight is broken into two sections. We have a public hearing and then the regular meeting. Public hearings for the opportunity for the applicants to present their application and for the commission members to ask any questions. Once a public hearing closes, the regular meeting begins, and the regular meetings where the commission discusses and votes on those applications. Applicants can stay or listen to the regular meeting, but you're not able to add and speak during that section of the meeting regarding your application. It's not required that you stay during the regular meeting if you have a pending business, and at any rate, all applicants will receive a written notice regarding the commission's decisions on tomorrow's next business day. So thank you all. Any questions?
Mhm.
No. This is going to be great on the web. I'm hand holding my phone here, so that's why it's kind of getting a little bit jumpy here. So I apologize for that. This ends up, I think, being posted up on the World Wide Web. So with that, our public hearing, we do have one COA. It's COA 556. This is 142 McKinley Avenue. Evan Hall is here. This is alterations and replacement of the residential building, the windows. We did receive your application here. And so I will open the floor to you for anything you want to add in or
What I would add.
okay.
Straightforward.
Mhm.
Jim, we're looking at the ceiling.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I can't hold on to this and I've only got two hands, so sorry, Greg. You're not missing anything. You're not missing anything. So again, this is per the description here. It's a removal and replacement of existing double hung windows, new window construction, replacement windows in architectural equivalency to the existing. We have attached the specifications. I don't believe you printed out those specifications, but I think they were wooden windows are there. And I can't remember if I had asked about the pane, the pattern of that. Say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay. And again, the grid patterns will be the same as the grid pattern. So if I'm looking at this now, I see 6/0 on the bottom. Or am I looking at wrong house? I'm sorry, you gave us extra ones around there. So they're not labeled. So I apologize if you can point out.
Maybe.
Is it? Oops. I assumed one of these was the right one. All right. Do you guys, how many pictures do you guys have? Not the specs, but the in your applications? Are you able to view those, Greg or Dane?
Yes, I see them.
So we've got 4 of them printed out right here. We did not print out the specs, but they're not labeled. So do you have 5 pictures? Because these 4 do not. These represent other buildings around this one, but not 142 McKinley. Do you?
I see 4 pictures in the attachment.
In the email, there was only 4 pictures. I didn't print the specs because it was an entire brochure. It wasn't just
Right.
the specs for just
Right.
kids, so I did not print the brochure.
I think when I looked at this, I assumed 3 of them were because I think you noted that here are some of surrounding ones, and I thought one of these was actually 142 McKinley, and I didn't do the double check to see. Please bear with us, Dane and Greg. Okay. So this, again, from the description, we have wooden windows. I'm looking now, and I don't know if you guys can go on a Google Maps or anything, but 142 McKinley, there's I don't want to say turret or whatever, but the windows that are being replaced, front windows, side windows, all the way around the house. They're double hung windows, wooden. The replacements are going to be wooden windows. I think our biggest concern would be that these are 2/2 windows, the replacement windows in the grid pattern.
What you see on the face of the front windows are 1/1. That's and storm window.
So what I'm seeing right here on
Those storm windows.
down below these ones here.
Yes. Oh, they're not. The panels, the old panels
That you just put in there. But
required, but the big ones in front is double 1/1. Sides are 6/6.
Okay. So it's 1/1 on the front, 6/6, but I guess what I was getting at was you're not going for a different grid pattern or anything like that. Okay. The pane separators are they embedded inside or are they exterior to the window? Okay. I apologize, guys, if you're not seeing this. So we're going by just a description here. Wooden windows replaced with wooden windows, same grid patterns. And there are how many windows being replaced?
41.
41 windows being replaced.
Tim,
Are there any windows not being replaced?
Not believe so.
But certainly on the front and side would be visible from public way. It looks like here you back up to something that's not visible from a public way. So, all right. Is this a multi-apartment? This broken into sub? Yeah. So I'm not sure if you're seeing this. There is a entrance or escape stairs built onto the side of the house, obviously after the construction of this house when it was subdivided. So that has that look on it. All right. This is a little bit different here. I'm not sure. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Is there anything else you wanted to say about these?
No.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question, Tim.
Sure.
This is Dane.
Yeah.
Is this house in the historic district?
Oh, there's another good question.
Because I don't mean to have to bring this up this late in the game, but I looked up the property on Map Geo, and if I have the GIS maps in front of me, and unless I'm seeing things, 142 McKinley Avenue is outside of either local historic district.
And I think you're right.
So
So this is were you getting a permit from City Hall and they said you had to do this? I apologize then. That should have been the first thing here. For whatever reason, I didn't do due diligence, even more so to say that we have a bunch of historic districts here. Two of them, the Little Plains and the Norwich town are under our jurisdiction and we have this. I'm thinking that city building department may have been overzealous in saying this is either, I'm not sure if it abuts it. I don't have the thing here. Does McKinley?
I'm looking at the map right now, and I have the overlay of both districts, but 142 McKinley would be the closest to Little Plains Historic District,
Right.
but it does not even abut the district. So
Yeah.
and,
All right.
I obviously reviewed all of the information beforehand, but when I brought the house up here on the map so I can see it in front of me, I'm going, wait a second, this is what I'm just noticing right now.
You're absolutely right. And now I'm looking at this. I'm going to apologize, and we probably could have done something a little bit quicker and through the back channels here. Since this COA represents a residence that's not in one of our two districts, I'm going to say that administratively we don't have any action to take on this. If City Hall, if the building department requires anything verification from us, then I will call Dan Coley or whoever down at City Hall, at the building department, and give the blessing on this. What we do appreciate, I know there are some older buildings, and just because it's not in this in these two districts, we certainly appreciate the fact that you're going like for like, the wooden to wood, because we do get a lot of other applications that come. Right. Right. And so we do appreciate that, and we'll point that out, that we approve what you're presenting here or representing for the proposed work. But again, I will, I don't know what the official term is, but we'll stamp this as not applicable and for this meeting. And thank you. Even though I'll CC you on any emails that I send down to Dan, or any, I obviously won't tie you into any phone calls, but I will still send out something to you explaining what's going on here and what the action will be for that, in case you have any issues with them. All right. Thank you, Evan.
Everybody,
All right. I apologize. All right. Well, that concludes any of the COAs that we have on the agenda. And Greg, you were bringing up this, so I have to close out the public hearing, and I'm going to open up the regular meeting. It is. Do you have the time? I don't have the time on my phone here.
5:44.
Okay, 5:44. And so action on COAs, there is no action on that COA. I will, like I say, get in touch with city building department and notify them of any of their overzealous action here. So, since that's not there, Greg, I'm still going to hold you off until the old business or new business portion. We do have approval of the minutes. This would be the minutes of June 24th, since we did not have a July regular meeting. There's lack of any actions to take here. So this is a June 24th special meeting. I'll entertain a motion for approval of those minutes.
Move to accept them.
Motion by Dane. Do I have a second? Greg seconds. Do we have any modifications that anyone wants to make to them? Hearing none, I will take a vote on approval of the minutes. Dane?
Aye.
Greg Farlow? You're on mute. Hand gesture or unmute. Greg Farlow?
You can
Aye.
raise your hand if you want, Greg.
Aye, and I say aye. Meeting minutes are approved. Chairman report. So let's see. We did have a inquiry from Ava Asiado on, I can't remember what, in our historic district on, I think it's Broadway. And I believe she was looking to upgrade her electrical. Yeah, she's upgrading the electrical up to 100 amp. And there's no change to anything out exterior. This is one of the situations where, since there was going to be no change on this, I told her that she wouldn't. She was just asking if she needed a COA, and I said because there would be no change, that we were going to give that a approval. The entry to the house is going to be the same. You don't see anything with the wiring. There would be no difference seen. And because of that, I gave her our tacit approval based on no changes visible from a public view. And so she hasn't gone to get her permit yet. I anticipate that we would hear from building department, and that was where I was going with that inquiry. Other than that, we did have another inquiry with someone was doing, like, I think it was a drip edge on a roof. Am I remembering that correctly, Catherine? Do you
Sorry, for what, I don't have
And again, I don't, if I had my phone handy for this, whatever it was, there was no action needed. I don't believe there was a COA associated with that. So, there was no need for anything, for that. I did notice though, just this week, Lathrop mansion there, the bed and breakfast.
Mhm.
They were doing siding work. The siding that's away from the meadow, visible from the public view. And I just noticed that. They were putting up some weatherproof sheathing underneath it. I didn't get a chance to stop in and ask them. In my mind, the last things that we approved from them were the roofing. I know that there was some siding damages, and I think we may have approved some of that, but it was more over in the it was like a round area, I believe, that I'm remembering, and this is on the face, I'm going to say the southern face of the building, and they've probably taken down from the apex of the window, down from the roof down, but the second floor, I believe, it's above the second floor, or at least near there. At any rate, what I'm getting at is, I don't think we approved that, unless anyone can tell me wrong in their last COA that we said you have carte blanche in changing or doing anything with the siding. Whether they're, like I said, I didn't get a chance to investigate whether they're planning on, they took that down and we're putting up the Tyvek and then putting the same siding back on the building, to be determined. Does anyone remember anything about siding repair of any substantial damage?
Tim, I seem to remember, them, they had come to talk about damage that was underneath some part of their siding, but I have to go back into the meeting minutes to see which section that was. I do remember that. I remember that conversation, but I don't know if this is the same thing. So I don't know if they're taking the existing siding off and repairing what's underneath and putting the siding back on. I haven't been down there in the past day, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, and this was just yesterday that I think we were noticing it. They did have a little dumpster out there, though. That's the one part I didn't. It makes me think that maybe there was some damage to the siding. I didn't get to poke around in it. So the fact that they had a dumpster as opposed to stacking up the existing siding. So I will investigate that more if it was, and I'll look back at a COA. I believe they would have come up in front of us certainly within the last 6 months. It wasn't July. Don't think it was June. I thought it was more of a May or April or May type timeframe, but I'll double check that and investigate and get back to everyone on that. And the last thing that I had on this was I had an inquiry about, and I'm sure the email said 5 Huntington Lane, and the person was asking, hey, is this a historic home, and do we have any information about the historic home? And we get these inquiries every once in a while.
Refer them to the Leffingwell. We've got
Say
that.
again?
Refer them to the Leffingwell. We have that data.
Okay. So I'm looking at it. The only thing is I don't see 5 Huntington Lane as being on the roll call here. I see it's not Huntington Place down in well, a lot of times I get saying, is it Huntington Lane? Is it Huntington Place? I don't see a 5 there or in the Norwich town on the Huntington. where is it? Huntington Lane, 4 and 10, but no 5. So, and the only other thing I was thinking was, I remember, I think it was it Rich Geidebeck or someone had a book of a lot of the historic houses and things around our area. And I'm not sure if I have a copy of that, and I wasn't sure if any of you guys had a copy that might have pointed them to it. But Greg, I agree with what you're saying. Is we don't normally have all that information unless it's there, and I will point them toward the Leffingwell and the Norwich Historic Society.
It's listed in Perkins' books. Perkins is the name of the book.
Perkins, it is in there.
Yeah. What's the date of Perkins? 18 what? 1885. Perkins.
Okay.
Refer them to the Leffingwell. We'll be able to give them information.
Okay, will do.
So that's the best way to do it.
All right.
Get it on the back.
And so the only other thing on the chairman's report now is, Greg, I'll get back to you. So the COA for the Society Founders of Norwich for I'm trying to think of the name of the building there, the Silversmith house for the foundation. Dan had asked about what was going on with that. Hey, is there there wasn't a permit, or there wasn't a COA, he noticed. And so Greg, I know we had gotten back in touch with you, and you had sent in this one, and I tried to get this onto the agenda to see if we could change the agenda, and I never got anything back from Attorney Driscoll. So I held off on that. Now, looking at the Silversmith house, it looks like all the work is done. Am I correct in that, Greg? You're on mute.
I'm not anymore. Okay, yes, it is complete.
Okay, so I'm not sure what city has been doing with any of this. So I'm not sure if this is going to end up being an administrative type thing to get this passed, but I couldn't get it on this agenda as noted.
Tim, I'm talking across the table. I'm the wife. The Silversmith shop is done.
Yep.
Greg wrote back that we were told by our landscape person, the contractor, that a permit was not needed because it was replacement work.
Yeah.
It was not, it was
Repair.
It was just repair replacement. It was nothing else. And so he didn't get one. And after Greg got your email, we contacted him, and he got a hold of Dan Coley.
Yeah.
And basically he got Coley said just put in a post permit for work
Okay.
done. And so that was already done. And I believe he stopped by today and took a look at the foundation,
Yeah, it's just,
but I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything.
So someone from the building department came by to inspect.
I have no idea. They were out in front of the building. A
Looking at
couple of our members were there doing some work, and they let me know. They said, "Oh, the building inspector came and he sat across the street in his truck." So, but he didn't come in and ask anything. So I'm
Okay.
assuming he took a look at it, and and Hyde will hear from him at one point or another. The
All right.
COA, the COA that Greg put in was for the Leffingwell. We have to replace 2 door sills. They are literally rotted. And we finally got a contractor to do them. And again, it's replacement repair.
Okay. All right.
just replacing the sills, so I don't know. Yeah,
Right.
All right. So the COA, I thought you put the COA in for the Silversmith when
No,
you're saying that was for Leffingwell?
didn't we put 2 of them in, one for each? That was for the Leffingwell.
Hyde took care of the Silversmith. He called the building inspector.
Yeah, he's.
If you want a COA, we can write one up.
All right. I apologize because I thought the COA that was submitted on the last day there was for the Silversmith. I wasn't aware of the Leffingwell. So
Okay, our
again,
door sills as you go in, were put in the 60s, made of pine and they broke.
all right. Well, we're not, so that COA though, because we could not change the agenda and add it to this one, this is going to have to either be addressed in a special meeting and or be addressed at our next meeting, which would be August, September,
Yeah,
September 18th. Is that,
Well, the guy's working right now. He's already started. He
On
started
the-
last, we were gone. Yeah.
okay,
on the sills, the two sills, which
All
is
right.
just a replacement, it's.
There was a picture sent of one of them.
Mhm.
I can send him, show him the picture of the replacement if he wants it. I've got it on my phone.
well, we're not gonna be able to take any official action on it. So
Okay, till next
if-
month, that's fine.
if this is going to the next month, then, did he have to get a permit to, do any of the work, or was this another one of, it's just a repair? So he
Just a
didn't,
basic repair. It's
so
like
he
putting up
didn't,
a new door, yeah.
right, so city building department's not gonna get involved in that one, as they did get involved with the silversmith one, so.
Not to my knowledge.
The COA comes first, doesn't it? And then the
Yes.
permit
We don't need a permit for the Leffingwell
repair.
repair, no.
Tell him that's your understanding.
That,
All
yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah, you agree with me, yeah.
So, under that, guys, and we will address the COA that could not make this on this agenda. We'll address it in the September regular meeting.
Okay.
And as far as the ironworks, I will discuss with Dan Coley and see if they're satisfied with what's going on down
Like the
down
silver
there.
Shop, yeah,
And if need be, then we may have to do a administrative post work completed type of thing. But that would be addressed also in the September. I will double check with Dan to see if he's okay, what he needs.
Well, he
All right.
spoke with Brandon Hyde and told Brandon Hyde to put in a post permit for the work that was completed.
Who is that? Brandon?
Brandon Hyde of Hyde Landscape.
Okay,
Dan Coley to put in I guess, a post permit or an after the fact permit for the work as completed.
okay. So he's gonna do that. And again, I don't know what Dan is gonna say for the post one, if he's gonna want not only what he's gonna want to submit
money.
for the permit, and whether Dan is gonna hold up anything because of a COA action or a HDC action. So I will double check with him on what he's gonna need
The work
for
is
that.
done. The work is done.
I understand.
Yeah.
Whether it's admin, whether he wants this for all admin type of situation, just like he's wanting a permit post work. So we'll address that. And I'll get back to you if there's anything further that Dan Coley is asking for. And we can address whatever post work is needed in our September meeting.
Are we getting in a circumstance whereby all repairs will require permits?
It's according to
Uh, I don't
This is
think
what's
so. I think
happened in our experience here.
I know, and we've had this where if there's no change to it, again, he brought it up. I hadn't even noticed that this was done until I saw it looked like large work. Now, whether he thought you were putting back a stone foundation or if it was going to be a poured foundation, he didn't know. He didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. So I was just trying to get back to this. So it all depends.
So we have stone, we replaced the stone that came down.
Yeah. I saw that and I knew you were going to do it the right way here, but other people may
right.
come in and say, hey,
Yeah,
I'm just doing a repair, and then they could repair it differently. So it gets into I'd rather something come through us just so we know what's going on, even if there is, like for like or whatever is going to be done. But you're right. There are some things here that you don't really need an application to do that. So in this case, I'd have to look through our whole guidelines of whether that would have said no application needed, but I don't believe it is. And like I said, it's all done anyway with visual looking the same as what it was, only repaired. So.
Okay, now do we have to suspend any work not done under door sills at this point? Or can we just let the guy finish it tomorrow?
I say let him finish it tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, no problem, okay.
There's no, it's just a sill plate. Which door, it's on the left, it's on
On the left of the house. Yep,
the, yep. And it's, I think that would go underneath the non-visual repair,
yeah, I get what
non-change.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, because you got doors over it, yeah.
So it's not gonna be, seen. All right,
Okay.
that's all I
Well,
had
I'll
for,
push it next month then, good.
all right. That's all I have for, chairman's report. Don't think we had any old business. Does anyone have any new business?
Question, do you want us, Cam and I live right up the street here from come on, Lathrop Inn,
Yep.
you know, the bed and breakfast? We could
Yeah.
run down there and talk to them.
Well, I live right down the street too. Like I
Okay.
said, I didn't have a chance to.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's fine then.
I'll take that under my, action.
Good
So,
deal,
but
okay. Just thought I'd
thank you
offer.
for the offer.
Get off your back.
Yeah, and I will again report back of what we find out, what I find out. So,
Okay,
all right. Hearing no other new business, our next meeting, regular meeting will be September 18th. Everyone's still good with a hybrid meeting? Everyone's nodding. We'll keep this as a hybrid meeting. And so I'll give last nickels. Anyone want to give a shout out? Say, hey, why are we even meeting this month? We could have gotten away again with that. Oh, I'm sorry. Jeepers creepers. The new business is Jake Stahl. Obviously, I'm not sure if you guys had seen the email. So he tendered his resignation from the board starting September 1st. We certainly thank him for his inputs and work with the commission. We're sorry to see him go. It does leave us one person shy. He was not an alternate. He was a full member, correct? I'd have to double check this. So I think we have again, someone will have to move up from an alternate into a full if he actually was a full member. But that leaves us with an opening for another person. So I will put it out there again. If you know anyone or can think someone would be a valuable asset to the commission, that we get those names. I can either, if you're comfortable with it, ask them if they could submit their application for membership to the HCC through the city website. And I guess they go through their due process of interviewing and voting on it at some later time. So if you know anyone, please point that out. And again, I will reiterate that my commission ends in December, and it's my intention not to follow on with certainly not as the chairman. And I think because of my situation, I'm going to exit the commission myself. So putting it out there, I know I put it out there before. So we're going to need someone to step up and take the chairmanship here from the remaining crew. And I can certainly go over any transition paperwork and everything that we have and all the passwords and duties and explanation here. Just as Regan had passed those on to me, I think we have a good folder that we can find the next person in line. So if anyone is interested in taking over, please notify me and we'll see what we can do to get that activated. September, I will be here, and I don't know what October has in store, but I'm likely on travel and out of state, so I may not be able to do that. So again, this is one of the reasons why I'm stepping down, is I'm not around here and have plans of not being around here to support the what's needed for the HDC and certainly for the chairmanship. So, all right. So we'll thank them. I don't know if there's anything that's done from the city as to a formal thanking to Jake. I don't know of anyone else that's done that. I haven't seen any other commissions, but if there is, then we will try to follow that process and certainly give him a job well done and wish him well on future endeavors. With that, I'll take a motion for adjournment. Motion from Greg. Do I have a second? Second from Dane. All in favor, say aye or wave your hands. All right. It's unanimous. We adjourn at whatever time you have. Again, guys, thank you for making a quorum, taking the effort and making a quorum for this. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more in the next meeting minus Jake, and we'll see you then.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Get back in the picture here. All right. Goodbye.
Bye. Hey, nice to see
Yeah. All right. Now I have to go. Oops.
No, I did email them because, to be honest, I'm getting more and more annoyed. I'm supposed to be a recording secretary, not a personal meeting secretary.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of the stuff you asked me, I take 5 different meetings and I have 3 jobs. I don't know all of that stuff. Regan knew that stuff. Like, usually the chairman knows that stuff. So I just don't know. I can't memorize that much information.
I apologize.
It's okay. That's why I say I don't know, because I can't retain information I don't need.
Yeah.
I have way too much. No, the city asks a lot of me, and those clerks can get very snarky. Like when I said to the clerk how to attach, if she needed to attach the brochure, and she's like, I need to know where you want me to attach it. They're very quick to get rude with me. So it's just very frustrating that they expect all this of me. And I send in the yearly schedule. I send in the agenda. It clearly says it's a hybrid meeting. Why Ray said that he recommends that before each meeting every month, the day before, I email him to make sure the room's set up. That is another thing I have to do. Why do I have to do all of this?
Yeah.
I am not a personal secretary.
Yep.
So I said that in there, that I said I would recommend. He's like, if you have any recommendations, let me know. I said, I'd recommend maybe not for you, but the city in general, maybe to fine tune how meetings are held and what's expected of a recording secretary versus an actual secretary. Because this is the second time for this meeting that this has happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen with my other meetings. So I don't, and he said that he has a separate calendar that doesn't say whether it's hybrid or not. That's not my problem. Why would I even know that?
Yeah.
So I said it to them. I'm sure Jackie will call me tomorrow. He must have his email on his home computer because I'm sure he's not here anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will see who's the next chair. If it is Greg Barlow, I probably will not be the recording secretary because
I'm trying to close this out and it's not letting me close this out. So where the hell do I